Did I tell you about the mystery shopper that never was? It's an interesting tale. I'm going to share it with you today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, if you are new to the show, yay, I'm super excited. I want you to subscribe because we are here 5 days a week. And when you come back to YouTube, we will be somewhere on your feed, kind of like going, hey, how you doing? And then we can pick up and carry on this conversation. So this show is for house cleaners, people who want to learn how to clean their house, people who want to learn about tips, tricks, techniques, quality products, and then also if you're growing a cleaning business. So check it out. All right, on to today's show. The mystery shopper that never was. Okay, so I run a cleaning company where we train house cleaners and maids how to start and grow their own cleaning companies. And we had a cleaning company that had a lot of problems. And we couldn't pinpoint where the problems were coming from, and if it was the training, or if it was the techniques, or if it was the products, or if it was the employees. So we kept getting a lot of callbacks, and the customers would call and they were like not happy, and then the owners would have to get in the car and they would have to drive over on their own time, and they're not repaying their employees because they've already been paid for the house. They're not earning any more money to go back and do a re-clean. So they're going back and they're doing clean after clean after clean. They're like, what is going on here? So what we did is we decided that we would have a mystery shopper that would come in and monitor the progress of the business and find out where the gaping holes were. So there was a meeting and all of the employees were called together, and there were about 22 employees in this company, huge company. So the 22 employees were all called together. There was a great big meeting, and they announced that prizes would be given out to the person that got the fewest amount of callbacks. Like if you get no callbacks, there are prizes and there's money for you. And so the house cleaners were super excited, and they said, now there are mystery shoppers that are going to be giving us feedback, and they're going to giving us feedback on the uniforms that you wear. Do you look professional when you show up to the job? Do you have the cleaning caddy that you're supposed to have with you? Does it have the cleaning supplies in it that you're supposed to have? And all the employees are like, whoa, we better up our game. Yeah. And then when you get to the customer's house, they're going to watch and see, is there cross-contamination? Did you do the job properly? And are you using the right equipment for the right job? And there's going to be a test. They're going to be seeing if when you leave, they'll do their own flashlight test, and they're going to see, did everything get cleaned as you promised? And so all of a sudden, all the house cleaners were kind of like, oh, we kind of better pay attention in a better sort of way. But we didn't know who the mystery shoppers were, and we didn't know where they were coming from. And so all of a sudden, all the house cleaners started thinking to themselves, well, I wonder if they're on my job. I wonder if today I have the mystery shopper. And so they would go to that job and they looked their best and their clothes were pressed and they had the right cleaning equipment and they'd done their walkthrough of their equipment and their inventory. They'd filled up all of their bottles, and all of their bottles had labels according to OSHA standard. They had all of the different mop heads and things that they needed so there would be no cross-contamination. And everyone started paying attention because they might have the mystery shopper of the day. And we were told on one particular day there would be 5 mystery shoppers. So of the 22 houses that were being cleaned the first thing in the morning, what we didn't know is which of those were one of the 5. So everyone was on their best behavior, and the most amazing thing happened. When the house cleaners came back to report at the end of the day, every one of them had a sense of pride. They were like, I did my best work today. I'm sure that I had the mystery shopper, and I'm sure I'm going to get a great review. Well, the next day, there were more mystery shoppers, but the next day there were 7. And so all of a sudden, the house cleaners again were on high alert, and everybody went into action mode, and they made sure that they did everything according to the T. They crossed off the checklists. They did their inspections. They brought their equipment back to home base at the end of the day, and we were told that the mystery shoppers would be watching until they left to go home for the night. So even when they brought everything back to home base, their cars were clean, and they cleaned out their cars. They didn't leave any cloths or any mop heads or any of that stuff in their car. They brought everything in. They did everything exactly as they were supposed to. Well, the next day, lo and behold, we were told there were 13 mystery shoppers that were going to be attending to that day. And then everybody went on high alert, and suddenly they started realizing this might go on for a while. We're going to have to follow this kind of protocol day after day after day and be a real house cleaning company. Well, what happened was this. The company completely turned around. Everyone, because they thought they were going to get the mystery shopper of the day, they turned their behavior around, and what was really interesting was there were no callbacks. There were no callbacks in 1 week. And the prior week, they'd had like 43 callbacks. And so they were thinking about going out of business because they could not figure out why do we have such a crappy business? But then the next week, there were no callbacks at all. So they continued the mystery shoppers. And then lo and behold, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, no callbacks. Then there was one callback. Whoa! And so somebody didn't get a prize that week. And the prize was significant. Well, here's the thing. When you don't have all the callbacks and all the wasted money and the wasted time, you can take the resources and put a little bit into a pot and then split it up equally among the house cleaners that are there. It's called pay for performance. And so what happened is all the house cleaners started doing a better job and started rising their level of experience and their expectations and their specialties with their customers so that they would get great ratings and reviews. They would not get callbacks. They would get the bonus money and what have you. But along with that, the company morale went up. Instead of getting callbacks and getting nagged and hounded by the managers and the owners and disappointment and frustrations and chiding and getting written up for things, all of a sudden they were getting money and prizes and gifts and there was happiness, and it changed the entire culture of that company. All right, now I say the mystery shopper that never was. Here's the sad part of the story. The sad part of the story, there never was a mystery shopper. All of the customers were mystery shoppers. All of the customers are mystery shoppers in your business as well. And it's really easy to think, well, I could hire this outside company and it's going to give me all the details. But the reality is you don't have to hire anyone at all. Truth be known, the customers will pay you for the privilege of being your mystery shopper. What? That makes no sense. Check it out. So what happens is a customer hires you for a service. The service is house cleaning. And when they give you feedback, they are in essence a mystery shopper. They are giving you the feedback that you would pay someone else to give you to make you better. And we, as humans, we don't like people to pick on us. We get our feelings hurt when someone tells us the truth. And so what happens is we tend to block that out like, oh, we're not a good fit. You're not a good person for my business because you told me the truth. Well, the reality is they are a mystery shopper and they are paying you for the privilege to do that. So if they give you feedback and you're like, whoa, wait a second, we could change that. We could make that better. Let's do that. But everyone went on high alert, just upgrading their level of performance because they thought there was a mystery shopper. Just reframing that in their minds changed their entire business, their entire company culture, and their entire company morale. Why am I sharing this story with you? Because in your business, there are also mystery shoppers. You have not paid them, they are paying you. And I want you to change the way you feel about the high maintenance customers that you have. They are your best mystery shoppers. Alrighty, I hope that helps a little bit. If it does, give us a thumbs up. Tell us your comments in the notes below. We do read them and we want to respond. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.